So I'm going to be sharing with you affordable and drugstore products that are better than high-end makeup products. Today's video is also done in partnership with Walmart. I'm so excited because I go to Walmart to buy like almost everything. They have so many affordable makeup products that are so good, and everything I'll be using today will be linked to the description box down below. You can find all these products at Walmart, and I want to give a huge thank you to Walmart for partnering with me in a portion of today's video. First, I'm going to start by putting lip balm on my lips. I like to moisturize my lips before applying my lip product, and I love these Rebels Refinery lip balm. They come in a 2-pack and they are about $3 each, which is very affordable. One of them is pineapple flavored and the other one is key lime pie flavored, and so I like to just moisturize my lips with these lip balms. Then I'm going to top this off with a little bit of this NYX butter gloss. I also like to use this to moisturize my lips. So I'm going to start by misting my face. I've already moisturized my skin and done my skincare. I like to mist my face before and after my makeup with an SPF setting spray, and this one is by ITK. It has an SPF of 30. It's a sunscreen setting mist, and it also contains vitamin E, so I feel like it's really good for your skin. You definitely want to apply an SPF after your makeup, and a way that I would recommend doing that is by getting a sunscreen setting mist. You definitely want to use a small amount and avoid spraying it directly into your eyes. So next, I usually like to prime my skin, and for primer I'm going to use the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Face Primer. I saw this thing all over TikTok and I got it. Typically with these primers, I like to place them on my T-zone area and just blend it in. This is a mattifying primer, and sometimes I like to use mattifying primers because my skin tends to get really oily on my T-zone area, and with this product you need a very small amount. It's a primer in a small packaging, but I feel like it does a pretty good job at mattifying my skin, and I don't think you need a high-end makeup product for this. Once I apply it, I like to just take a beauty sponge and run it through my face just to absorb the excess product. So next is foundation, and for foundation I love this L'Oreal True Match foundation. If you've been on my channel, you definitely know I've raved about this foundation multiple times. It's an oil-free foundation that gives my skin a very natural finish, so it looks like a high-end product, but it's an affordable product. You can get this at your local Walmart. They also came out with the new version that has a pump, so you don't have to waste product anymore. The shade that I'm using is 9.5 Warm, which is almost a perfect match for my skin. So I just like to take this e.l.f. sponge. This e.l.f. sponge is also a product that I feel like is better than high-end sponge, such as like the Beauty Blender, because I bought 3 of these sponges for $6, and they're really good quality sponges because they last you a long time. I've had them for months and they are easy to clean as well. If you're looking for beauty sponges that are good quality, I would recommend these e.l.f. sponges. So this foundation is more of a medium coverage foundation. You can build it up to a full coverage if you wish. It's also great for all skin types, which is one thing I love about it. So even if you have dry skin, because it's an oil-free foundation, it's still going to work for your skin. The foundation is also really easy to blend. Right now my skin is very dry, so foundations that are usually matte are very hard to blend on my skin, but as you guys can see, this foundation just literally blended like butter on my skin. Next is concealer, and for concealer I typically like drugstore concealers because they're affordable, and I feel like most drugstore concealers are usually, as far as quality, up to high-end concealers, and one that I've been loving is this IRL concealer by Revolution Beauty. I usually use the shade C13.5, which I feel like is perfect because it helps to cover up my discoloration under my eyes, and it helps to brighten up my under eyes as well. So this concealer has more of that soft matte finish, so it doesn't leave my under eyes feeling dry. At the same time, it doesn't make it look too oily. Sometimes I feel like using an oil absorbing setting powder is not necessary with this concealer. I would just say use a hydrating setting powder, or you can use a translucent setting powder that will give you a really nice finish under your eyes. So as you can see, the concealer is really easy to blend. Even if you have really dry under eyes, I haven't hydrated my under eyes, but it blended like really smoothly. But I love how the concealer dries down to like a soft matte finish, so it looks really natural. It doesn't look oily, and neither does it feel dry under my under eyes. I feel like it's the perfect formulation for a concealer. Now if you're looking to cover up a little bit more, I would say go in with a little bit more concealer, but if you're looking to really brighten up your under eyes, I would just say use a lighter shade just to kind of give you that really nice highlighted under eye. And for contour, I love this Milani liquid contour. So with this contour, I like to place it right highlight where I have that shadow, which is right below my cheekbones. And I also love the shade because it's more of a contour than a bronzer for my skin. The shade that I usually use is 04 Cocoa, which is more of a cool tone shade. Then I'm gonna blend it out. The reason why I really love this contour is literally it blends seamlessly on the skin. Really easy to apply. I feel like it gives a little bit more of a natural finish on the skin. It doesn't look too pigmented, and that's what I love about contour. I don't like my contour looking too sharp because then it looks fake. So I like it looking natural and really easy to blend, and I feel like this liquid contour by Milani does exactly that. It just adds shadows onto my skin without showing up and looking really harsh. So when it comes to contours, I like to stick to contours that are cool toned, and this contour is more of a cool tone contour because it adds shadows to my skin. Some liquid contours tend to be warm toned, and those look more like bronzers on my skin than they do contours, and that's why I really love this Milani one. Is like the shade is like almost perfection for my skin tone. I do wish they had deeper shades for darker skin tones because I don't feel like this one would show up for somebody who's like 4 or 5 shades darker than me, but I will say that they did nail it with the formulation, how easy it is to blend. So this has to be like my go-to product when it comes to contour. So for setting powder, I love this Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting powder. I've been using this consistently non-stop for the past couple weeks because it's just a go-to setting powder. It gives a really natural finish and it goes with most concealers, which I love. But with this setting powder, I like to use an under eye brush to apply it. I just pick up a little bit of that product and I like to just press that right underneath my eye to set that concealer. And typically when it comes to setting powders, I find that some feel very dry under my eyes. This setting powder is like almost hydrating under my eyes. Like I don't feel like I've set anything on my skin. It's a very natural and veil powder and it literally absorbs all the oils, and this lasts all day long. It feels very comfortable under my eyes. It literally gives like a filtered look, like it smoothens out your skin. Now if you have oily skin, you can use this powder to set your foundation as well. It's also going to give you a really nice natural finish, but because I have dry skin, I don't like setting my whole face because sometimes my skin tends to be a little bit dry. So I like to just set the concealer areas on my skin that contain oils, such as this area. I am also going to place a little bit on my eyelids as well, just to help absorb these oils on my eyelids. So for blush, I love the NYX Sweet Cheeks blushes. I have like 5 of these. This shade right here specifically is my favorite because it's rich to show up on my skin, and I feel like it's like a dark shade that gives me a really nice natural look. The blush is very lightweight, it's super natural on the skin, and I love how pigmented and rich it is. I like placing a very small amount of this blush and just using the blush brush that I use to pick it up. I don't like applying the blush directly on my cheeks because I feel like with a highly pigmented blush like this, it's gonna be really hard to blend, so it's better to just apply it like this. And I'm just placing it at the highest points of my cheekbones and diffusing it. Typically when it comes to cream blushes, I like to apply it before I set my skin, but because this cream blush is really blendable on the skin and it looks really natural, it makes it really easy to blend even if you have powder on top. And it's not like an oily finish blush, it's more of like a matte finish blush, but it looks really, really natural. So I'm bringing the blush all the way up towards my temples and bringing it down towards the apples of my cheeks. And this is just going to help diffuse the blush so that it looks natural. So as you can see, the blush is so pigmented. So I like to go in with the applicator that I use for the powder and just get rid of all these harsh lines from the blush to make sure that you get a really natural blend. As you can see, the blush is not giving any oil, like zero. It looks like a matte blush. These types of blushes last so long on my skin. For highlighter, I love the Makeup Revolution Bright Light Highlighter Wand. This is supposed to be a blush wand that has a little bit of highlighter because it does give a little bit of pink pigment. So to apply this highlighter, I like to do the same thing that I did with the blush and just put it at the back of my hand, pick it up and just press it right at the highest points of my cheekbones. And because I'm going to spray my face with setting mist again, I'm not going to place too much of this highlighter. This is just going to add a little bit of glow to your skin. So for my eyebrows, I typically use the same things because because I like to stick to the same types of products so my eyebrows always look the same. So I usually go in with the NYX Stick It eyebrow gel. This is really easy to use. It's just a gel that you apply all over your eyebrows, and I like to apply it going upwards. Then I like to take it and just go back and forth like this to make sure I'm saturating my eyebrows with the product, and then brush it again. This is going to add a little bit of tint to your eyebrows, and it's also going to help structure your eyebrows. The shade that I use is Espresso, and I love this eyebrow product because it doesn't put too much pigment on the eyebrows. It gives you more of that natural eyebrow look. Then going in with the Milani Weekend Brow Pen in the same shade, Espresso, I like to fill in all those sparse hairs that you see from my eyebrows, and this is going to give your eyebrows more of a fuller look. But I like to be very light-handed with this product because it can be a little bit pigmented if you apply too much. And I like to start from the bottom and just bring it upwards because I feel like it gives it more of a natural look. So for eyeshadow, I like to start off with a good eye primer. An eye primer is going to help the pigmentation of your eyeshadow to show more on your skin. So I really like this Milani eyeshadow primer. So typically I like to use a brush and just press that all over my eyelids. This is a good primer to help neutralize your eyelids, and I love the primer because it also helps to absorb the oils on the surface of my skin. Then for eyeshadow today, I'm gonna use the Milani Gilded Mini. I love these palettes. They're so small and convenient. These are like really great travel palettes, and they're great palettes for like everyday wear. They have so many different palettes for different looks. The one that I like is this 140 Wind Down palette because it has a lot of mauve shades, which are like my favorite eyeshadow shades. I've been using this palette back to back for a couple weeks, and I've just been loving it. The eyeshadows are really blendable, and I love the fact that they have matte and shimmer shades. So I'm gonna start with this burgundy shade right here and just building this up on my crease. As you can see, the primer gets the pigmentation of the eyeshadow to show a lot more. This eyeshadow is not even as deep as it is on the pan. But when you apply the eyeshadow primer, it gets the pigmentation to show a lot more. A lot of people ask me a lot of questions on how to get your eyeshadows to blend, and eyeshadow primer is literally the key to getting the pigmentation to show and to get your eyeshadows to blend flawlessly. Next, I'm gonna go in with this shadow right here. So this is a light mauve shade, and I like to place this on my crease area. For today's eyeshadow look, I'm going for a fully matte look. I love how matte eyeshadows look like on my eyelids because they give me more of like that natural soft glam look. Next, I like to pick up this light shade, and with this shade I'm going to place it on the inner corner of my eye and bring it up towards my crease. This helps to open up my eyes a little bit because I do have smaller eyelids, so it kind of gives me more space. Next, I'm going to apply eyeliner, and for eyeliner I would always recommend a drugstore eyeliner because I just feel like drugstores have the best eyeliners. You don't need to buy like a super expensive eyeliner for it to look good. My favorite liquid eyeliner is the NYX Epic Wear Waterproof Eyeliner. So this is a liquid eyeliner with a feather tip. So I'm gonna draw out my wing first. Then I'm gonna bring it in towards the inner corner. And I like to use this type of eyeliner because it's so easy. As you can see, it's really, really pigmented and easy to apply. Then of course, my favorite mascara is this Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This has been my favorite for a while right now. I feel like it is the best mascara, like high-end, affordable, it's the best. And the same thing goes for mascara. I don't think you need an expensive mascara to get your lashes to curl. I think drugstores have also some really good mascaras. This is one of those affordable ones that are a must-have. So I just went ahead and popped on some of my favorite lashes, which are the Kiss Wispies. These are like my go-to drugstore lashes, or just like lashes in general, because I feel like they go really well with smaller eyes. And then next, I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips, and I love this NYX lip liner. This is in the shade Espresso. I feel like every drugstore product is named Espresso when it comes to like deeper shades, but I like to line my lips with this lip liner because it's long lasting, and the shade is also really perfect for brown skin. And then for lipstick, my go-to lipstick is this Milani lipstick. I feel like this is like more of like a high-end lipstick. It is just the perfect consistency for a lipstick. It's not too drying, and it's also really pigmented. And they also have so many different shades, but the shade that I use is the shade 410 Pleasure, which is more of like a nude and neutral look. I love the lip liner paired with the lipstick. It just gives it a really nice ombre look. Then I like to top it off with a little bit of lip gloss. So I'm gonna use this NYX Butter Gloss. I've been using this every single day since I got it. It's in the shade Ginger Snap, and it's also what I usually apply before my makeup. Then of course, lastly, you want to apply sunscreen on your skin, especially if you're going to go out or when you're sitting by a window, just to protect your skin from UV rays. So I'm going to go in with that same setting mist that I used in the beginning. And you definitely want to avoid your eyes because sunscreen in your eyes is the worst thing ever. So I usually like to take a sponge and just press that mist on my skin. And if you prep your makeup base well, this is not going to move your makeup. It's not going to make it transfer or anything like that. It just helps to absorb all that excess setting mist and really press it onto your skin so it looks nice and natural. But if you want to discover some new makeup techniques that have gone viral and that work so well, then definitely check out my previous video over here. All the products I've used are linked in the description box down below, so definitely check them out.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.